This is JJ Solomon.
This Corey Bradshaw, Mr. RTBA. Mr. These boys can't touch me on my worst day. And this is the Spit Bucket Podcast.
What's up?
Man, it's your boy, Mr. RTBA, Mr. 214. Senor Dos Uno Cuarto with my guy, JJ Solomon. We are the Spit Bucket Podcast. This is Spit Bucket episode.
It's unscripted. TSB unscripted today.
Oh, TSB unscripted? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I finna say Thursday.
Oh, you got that one down? You went to ESL classes before class, bro.
I finna say Thursday.
How you feeling, bro? It's been a minute.
Feeling real good, bro. Miss our crowd, bro. I'm missing the Spit Bucket. Everybody who rock with us from the 214 to across the pond. I mean,
Yeah, man.
Situations, and with life, they say it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. It's been a hellacious few weeks, and it's just hard to it's just when life is happening, sometimes it's hard to keep it all together. So I appreciate you, because I was thinking about what we were missing every single day, but you kept emphasizing the focus on what we got to focus on and take care of myself. So but it feels good to be back, bro. I miss you. I hope you guys are doing well. Got a lot to talk about.
Man, we got a hell of a lot to talk about, especially Canelo Alvarez, Triple G, the trilogy. It didn't do nothing for me. It wasn't gonna. This fight wasn't gonna never do nothing for me, JJ. I'm not lying to you. This was like a throwaway fight, in my opinion, because everybody knew Triple G wasn't gonna win this fight. Mm-hmm. I said on Facebook and Instagram, the most exciting thing about that fight was seeing Triple G hairline in the way that.
That's a terrible thing to say. No,
that was the most exciting thing about the fight.
It was tough, man. It was tough. I almost said highly anticipated closeout to trilogy, but I don't know if that was a highly anticipated fight. There was a core boxing audience that was obviously excited about it because it's a boxing event. But like you said, it's 4 or 5 years too late. We've just seen so much. We've seen Triple G decline. So what did we really think was going to go on? Obviously, we were hoping to see a knockout of some sort, something a little bit different, but it was the least entertaining of the three fights, and justifiably so. It was a 40-year-old man in there with a guy in his prime. So, hey, salute to both of them. They left their hearts in the ring. I did appreciate the sportsmanship at the end. They left it all in the ring, but I mean, what else is there to say? I will say that.
Hello, though.
What's that?
Did you see any slippage in Canelo, Jay? Or do you think it's the injury? They talked about the injury where he's going to be out to September of next year. Did you see any slippage in that fight? Because I don't know if I seen the same Canelo. See, my thing wasn't, I seen the guy who got beat up against Bivol, right? And I don't know if that Bivol fight took something out of him. Is Canelo can he still win fights? Yeah, but did you see any slippage?
Man, I didn't see slippage. I saw a man that's very conscious that Triple G can take a punch and also can give one right back. And he also knows that Triple G could change it with one shot. He absolutely dominated that fight for 8 rounds. I wasn't upset at the 8-4 scorecards. I gave Triple G the last four rounds, so that puts it 116-112. Everybody was acting like it was 12 rounds to none. Canelo. Here's what I think people should take away from. We keep seeing Canelo fading into the second half of the fight. And, it's not like Triple G was keeping him busy. And Canelo seemed like he melded in that second part of the fight. Now you can bring up the hand injury. Was that a hand injury showing? But I don't know. Again,
I don't know. It seemed like Canelo wore extra big gloves. Do that seem like that to you? Because when he throw his punches, he seemed like he be slapping instead of getting the full force of his punches. So he might do have hand injuries because it seemed like them gloves was extra big he had on. Am I?
I didn't notice it, man. Maybe his brand, the Canelo brand or whatever it is, maybe it's just padded different and we're not used to seeing it. Maybe that has something to do with why the fight went 12 rounds. I had a couple of people ask me before the fight started, though, what would you put your money on? And I didn't put no money on this fight, but if I did, I would have put on a 12-round fight. And luckily, that's what I answered, so I'm not causing anybody no debt and white arguments with their wife.
Yourself no disservice in that fight because I think it's a lot of fighters out here Triple G can still beat.
I agree with that, man. I agree 100%. Now, should we argue that Triple G should retire? A lot of people say they wouldn't pay to see him again, but he still has 3 belts at 160. He's still never been rocked. We've never seen his legs buckle. Is there some conditioning issues? Yeah, but let's talk about what's out there at 160, or if you decide, I doubt he stays at 168. I mean, who scared you for Triple G?
I mean, nobody scared me for him. Like I look at Jamal Charlo and I look at he has knockout power. I feel like Jamal Charlo is a harder puncher than Canelo. That's just punching power. I mean, I look at that, but like you say, Triple G, like, bro, like people think that Canelo just brought that crowd. It's a lot of Mexicans who love Triple G, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Mexican style. Like, they love Triple G. So my thing is Triple G got a rock-solid chin. That was Canelo. We know Canelo is Canelo. Mm-hmm. But there was just no dominating performance by Canelo. Did Canelo win the fight? Absolutely. Sure. But in my opinion, Canelo at his age and Triple G at his age, Canelo should have did a little more. Now, it could be the hand injury where he had on them big extra gloves he had on, JJ. But, you know, it is what it is. Canelo got the victory. They say he's going to be out to September of next year. And my question is, if they say he's going to be out to September of next year, do Canelo hold enough weight for all the ranking bodies to let him keep all 4 titles?
I'll be honest with you. I mean, financially, obviously, yeah, but I hope not. You know why? Because this will be a hell of a way to force the envelope, to push the envelope, to fight the Benavidez. If Charlo decides to move up, we see Andre move. You know what I mean? So if we get these guys picking up interim belts, then we might have Canelo being forced to fight these fights that the large majority of the American audience wants to see. We've seen Canelo saying he doesn't want to fight any other Mexicans. We've seen people say what Benavidez is Mexican-American.
He came out and said everybody took that and ran with it. He said he from Mexico. He say he don't want to, but he'll fight anybody. He say people took that one little thing he said and they ran, and people did. Like Canelo, he magnetic.
Yeah.
Right? So when people
polarizing.
Polarizing, yeah, thank you. So people could take little clips from Canelo and they could push that narrative and run with it, fam. Like he say, I'm from Mexico. I ain't saying that I won't fight no Mexican fighters. It's just something I wouldn't prefer. But speaking of, I guess he Ecuadorian. I just found that out about David Benavidez. I thought he was a Mexican-American. Is Ecuadorian considered Mexican?
No, I didn't know that. I thought he's Mexican-American. It's news to me.
Yeah, news to me. But, this is the thing right here. Can David Benavidez, have we seen enough out of David Benavidez to where, like Canelo said, I agree with him. What have you done? It's not my fault.
That's a real good place to leave off real quick. Before we continue and answer that question, let's give a shout out to Hector Garcia. What's up, brother? Shout out to David Russell, friends over at KO Therapeutics. And with that being said, let's give a big shout out to our friends over at KO Therapeutics, KO CBD management. for pain, recovery, inflammation. You guys check it out. We'll give you a quick idea of what our friends at KO Therapeutics all about.
We all have battles. We fight. We train. We work. We persevere. And we celebrate. We are all one.
I can't do anything if I can't walk in my prosthetic. It's a lot of pain that I feel throughout my day. It can be very intense. Now I just put that balm over it and it will heal up much faster and it will let the callus recover. That's amazing. It is a total game changer. I am hooked. I am absolutely, I'm just hooked.
Life is hard. KO makes it better. KOCBD.com.
So once again, if you got any type of back pain, neck pain, just joint pain, just sore after a workout, whatever the case, check out our friends at KOCBD.com. Use the discount code TSB10, and we sure would appreciate it. We sure appreciate you guys. Thanks for all the support, and thanks for all the pain relief. Well, let me do something real quick on my phone. Cray, you there? Did we lose you? Did we lose you? Anyhow, he left us with a cliffhanger. Oh, we lost him. Yeah, he left us with a cliffhanger asking if Benavidez has. There he goes. There he goes.
Hey, my
back,
bad,
sir? Thought you left me. Thought you left me.
No. We have to scroll up our articles and make sure we get this in the spit bucket. Everybody, y'all make sure y'all go to Facebook. Y'all go to our group. We 33,000 strong in the Spit Bucket Podcast on Facebook. Y'all make sure y'all go follow us on Instagram, the Spit Bucket Official. Y'all also make sure y'all follow me on my personal one, MR_IOTBA.
Mr. IO, why don't we remind the fans what IOTBA stands for, in case you haven't heard.
I'm on that bullshit again.
Man, I miss you, Corey. I miss you, bro. This is cool, but it ain't nothing like being arm's length away. No, at any given point, you could just choke me out. But anyway.
I want to stay on Canelo, though. Because
yeah, let's stay on it, man. You left with a good question. We left before the break with a great question saying,
answer.
Can Benavidez, have I seen anything in Benavidez to beat Canelo? The short answer is no. No, I'm not. Obviously, these guys are 168-pound grown-ass men, and Benavidez can hit hard. But if we're talking about just X's and O's compared to other X's and O's, I mean, there's a ton of things we can talk about. Just started, for me, Benavidez' balance. Once he starts unloading the way he does, that little bazooka-style shot, speed combo shots he has, Canelo's not just going to stand there and let you square up against him and just unload. People see those quick highlights of Benavidez, and that's really all they have to offer. He's the bigger fighter. We've seen Canelo win with bigger fighters. Yeah, they're going to bring up Bivol. Well, he got outboxed by Bivol. Can Benavidez box anything like what Bivol can do? I mean, Bivol was put on a masterful clinic on the sport of boxing. It wasn't just some flashy quick round. He got caught here, but then got through it. We've seen Benavidez get caught. We know Benavidez might have discipline issues inside, outside the ring. So for me, I've been very critical of Canelo, but for that specific matchup, I don't see Benavidez really posing a real problem if Canelo recovers, and there's no excuses on the table from either side. Their best version of themselves, I'm taking Canelo every time.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Is David Benavidez an excellent fighter? Absolutely, 100%. He won't be on this level if he wasn't an excellent fighter. But like you say, JJ, when I look at a guy like David Benavidez and I measure him up with a guy like Canelo, where Canelo is just so much more fundamentally sound and could do a lot more things than David Benavidez. When I look at David Benavidez, can he punch? Absolutely. But to be the Canelo, you have to have that type of characteristic as a Floyd Mayweather or a Dimitri Bivol. When I look at David Benavidez, he could box a little bit, but I don't think it's something that he could steady do. Keep his mind focused on boxing the whole ring and being a bigger man. To me, he's a straight up and down fighter, which is a good straight up and down fighter, right? Because he beat a lot of the other super middleweights out there. But just going up against a Canelo, a guy who fundamentally strong in every single department, I just don't see it. I'm with you on that. I got Canelo, man.
Now the other name that's up there is moving up to 168. Obviously, Demetrius Andrade.
Yeah.
I mean, he's slick, he's elusive, hard to hit. Which in Canelo's past, we've seen that be a problem. You know, he has trouble hitting guys that aren't there, that are in and out of the pocket, who can move, who can cut the ring off. Or I don't anticipate Andre trying to cut the ring off against Canelo, but still, people with footwork, stuff like that. Now, I'm not the biggest Andre fan out there. You asked me who's got to have a better legacy, better career. Obviously, Canelo and any of the other guys at 168. But with Andre, we know when boxing styles make fights. Do you see, with everything we just mentioned about Andre and his kind of awkward, elusive style, if there's somebody at 168 that can beat Canelo and pose a threat to him, will you think it'd be one? You think it'd be somebody like Andre, or is that just a silly question?
Oh no, absolutely, because Andre could do it all. Like, he wouldn't be at this level. When I look at him and when I look at David Benavidez, it's a different. Demetrius Andrade could be mentally focused and stay on the game plan the entire fight. And not just that, JJ, his backstory to Demetrius Andrade and Canelo Alvarez that could sell. Get the fuck out of here, motherfucker. Yep. Who the fuck are you? You fought nobody. You fought nobody.
You fought nobody.
So that and then his daddy, Demetrius Andrade daddy, you know, he was trying to get to Canelo. So I think it's much more of a clear backstory. And like, even when Canelo said he wasn't fighting Mexicans no more, I ain't have no problem with it, because when I look at the sport of boxing, yeah, it's good Mexican on Mexican fighters that fight each other. We seen in Marco Antonio Barrera,
Morales,
yeah. We a lot of them.
Yeah.
But it's nothing like seeing a black fighter and a Mexican fighter inside that ring, bro. Like, it's the divide and conquer, like, because you're going to have the Mexican people around with the Mexican people. You're going to have the black people. It's going to be some black people around with the Mexican because they think, you know, whoopty-woo Canelo better, but that's the rivalry right there. And I just think it's a lot there. I think the table is set. Full course meal. I think Demetrius Andrade and Canelo got built up to where this could be properly promoted. And you got to understand, them face-to-faces and the press conferences, it's going to be explosive.
Look, and here's the thing, though, dog. Canelo has the ability to blacklist somebody. And, you know, Andre has gotten under his skin. Andre said all the right words. What do you think it's going to get to a point where Canelo's like, I don't care what anybody asks for, I'm just not going to fight him because I don't like him? Or let's be honest, not a lot of people who don't watch the sport know who Demetrius Andrade is. So can that fight pull numbers?
Yeah, because
big numbers.
JJ, it's Canelo.
Yeah, obviously Canelo's going to put.
It's Canelo. I'm talking about. And then you're going to have somebody who's going to talk shit. Remember when I said Canelo magnetic, right? You going to have, what the fuck he say? Correct knowledge of Mexican boxers is more shot than Malcolm.
I missed that. Correct knowledge of Mexican boxers is more shot than Malcolm. Oh, my goodness. Finito 2K. It's been a long day. I promise you, he knows his Mexican fighters, bro. That's pretty good, though. Appreciate the shout out. Jeez. Hector Garcia, Canelo Triple G money fight. Canelo fought him for yes. I agree 100%. My boy Carlos.
But now I'm with you. Like, I want to see Canelo against anybody. Is magnetic. And then you're going to have a guy like the fighter who fighting Canelo, he get all that attention. And every fighter who fight Canelo going forward, they going to soak it up. They going to make sure they make a name. Because what if they do the unthinkable, like Dimitri Bivol, and become victorious?
Life-changing.
against
overnight.
against a lot of people, former #1 pound for pound fighter, right? So I just think the matchup is there, even with Jamal Charlo. It's there, bro, because Canelo knows English now. He able to talk shit better than ever, bro. You know Jamal, bro. I like David Benavidez, but
So
like
when he's
I
all,
said, David Benavidez, he lost his bet on the scale. He supposed to be this right now.
mm-hmm.
If he would have lost his bet on the scale and did something, you would be this right now. You would have had that opportunity. I just think a Andrade or a Charlo much better to me right now than
I don't care. I'll take any of those fights in whatever order you give me. Unfortunately, the Canelo Roadshow is going to have to take a 12-month layoff, 12-month break at least. So we've seen him probably the most active champion in the game right now for the past few years. But that activity is going to catching up to him. So he's going to have to slow down, take care of his body. Dude deserves it.
But that's good while he in the prime, right, Jay?
Yeah, he's still in his prime, but he's got a lot of money to enjoy. He's got a lot of time to sit off and just sit on his riches and enjoy what he's done. So, hey, man, when you take some time off of work, it's hard to get back going. So we'll see how he responds to the injury, how he responds to the layoff. But the man deserves, again, like last time I said that thing about hate Floyd or love Floyd. Listen, hate Canelo, love Canelo. The man's been super busy. The man's beat some champions. They may not all be the champions we all wish for. So let the man enjoy what he's done.
That's what people got to understand about boxing. It's a business, JJ.
Mm-hmm.
It's a business just because we want that fight. Just because we say, oh, y'all should fight each other.
Yeah.
It's a business, JJ. Like, think about it. Why would Keith Thurman fight Earl Spence when Keith Thurman was already right there? Why would he do that when he was in line to fight a Floyd Mayweather or a Manny Pacquiao? Why would he look at little Earl Spence at the time and want to fight him? Why would Earl Spence want to fight Terrence Crawford? We know going to be the biggest test instead of get all these other guys out the way first. It's business, bro. We can't just think, oh, we could throw these fighters in there. I had to learn that the hard way. It's a business. Like, they got the fight. They fight for a business. And if the fight makes sense, then yeah. But why would you put Earl Spence, Keith Thurman even fighting Earl Spence at the time, or Earl Spence fighting Terrence Crawford right off the back instead of getting rid of the other guys first? I had to understand it was a business, dog.
Yep, 100%, bro. Like, we can just cry and complain and talk shit all day long on social media, but at the end of the day, this is their wallet. This is their decision. We obviously going to tune in regardless. But hold on. We had some, I don't know, you want to call it breaking news? Mike Coppinger dropping the news for November 19th. It looks like we're getting closer, or is this just smoke and mirrors? Is it happening?
I mean, I think it's the real deal. I think this is it. That circulated real quick from where we at in the 214 to across the pond. It's circulated. And when stuff circulates like that, that means either it's gonna happen immediately or it's about to happen, bro. So that let me know they're in real serious talks.
That's 2 months from today, November 19th. Is that enough time to sell a fight? Is that enough time to get ready?
Absolutely, they've been working now. You could tell by looking at them that they both been working. Now, when we seen Terrence Crawford here in Dallas, that dude was legit. He was ripped.
Yeah, everybody calls him.
Look at Earl Spence on his pictures. We ain't been able to see him, up close. But if we look at the pictures, this guy has been in shape. We used to see Earl Spence blow up after fights, right?
Yep.
In the past. We ain't seen that. We seen this guy stay physically fit. So, yeah, it's enough time because, as a pro fighter being on this level, you got to stay in that gym. And we know, like, as great as they is, that's how they got there, staying in that gym. So I think it's more than enough time. And I think it's perfect because you don't want to have nothing that stretches out, right? Because it's going to get boring for us.
Yeah.
Like, we thirsting.
Oh, yeah.
For this fight, like, right now. and the 2-month gap right now, it makes sense. But then, you know, the splits. Did you hear about the splits?
Well, I've seen rumors, I've seen sources, I've seen it all. The 65-35. I want to go back to one thing you're saying real quick for people who are questioning if this fight's going to happen. And you made a hell of a point about Spence staying in shape. And we've seen Spence blow up after a fight, and he said it himself that some of the biggest struggles he has going into camp is cutting that weight. So remember what Derek James said right after Ugas in his ear, like, we got work to do or something along those lines. So yeah, he knows that it's not some journeyman, some cab driver, some mandatory for the next fight. So he made sure to stay in shape. We haven't seen any evidence from Spence walking around at 200 pounds or anything. So yeah, good call with that, bro. But yeah, what I don't like talking about things that aren't facts, but where are we getting the 65-35 number
you
from?
don't like talking about things that's not what like.
No, is it the 65-35, that part of it?
Credible sources out there. I mean, it's just because people don't want to believe it, that's up to people to take it for what they want to take it for. But credible sources have told me it's 65-35. Earl gets all the back money. Super A side. Like, come on, what other way would it be?
Bro, and if those numbers are real, then Bud, like we said about Haney, Bud is out to show the world. Now, was there anything about rematch clauses, or is that all just people just assuming stuff?
I mean, of course there's going to be a rematch clause because you got to understand, Earl got 3 belts. Why would he? Remember, Earl was saying, I can't believe I forgot who that fight was, but he didn't get he didn't put no rematch clause in there. Somebody didn't, and I remember Earl coming. I can't believe he didn't put no rematch clause in there. So absolutely, Earl gonna put a rematch clause in there, bro. Absolutely.
Well, I saw it. I've seen a bunch of things floating around, man. I was like really trying to look for some answers today. But now that it appears, I mean, you're saying that you believe 100% that it's going to happen. You got good reason to believe it. So maybe we could talk about it. I keep getting my heart broken. We got people asking, Carlos asking who y'all got winning. So I know we've got 2 months to put. I know we've got 2 months to put together predictions and analysis and all that.
But that's all right. Your mind could change. We got the right to change our mind as the fuck. Like, Brett killed me about people. Who the fuck is people to tell us we ain't got the right to change our mind? Oh, because we think something one day, we ain't got the right to change our mind and we see something else. Look, man, I don't get that. But
especially a fight with this magnitude, bro. Like, you know how many times I've been back and forth with who I think is going to win? Like, countless times. There'll be times where I'm like right now, if you ask me, I think Terrence Crawford wins the fight by this much. This much. I don't see a dominating 10 rounds to 2 performance. It's going to be a close call. Those close rounds are going to be hard to decide. But I think Terrence Crawford just edges him out just a little bit. Again, nothing you're about to say is probably going to be wrong. Go. Huh?
You say he edged him out?
He'll edge him out. I think Spence will kind of start off strong early. I think Bud will start to adjust and figure it out. And I think Bud will adjust with enough time to make up whatever type of early lead Spence has. I just think both these guys, man, they both know that the fight could end really, really quick. And I think we're gonna see a little bit less aggressive version of both of them. Just like you see every time a big super fight happens. I don't think either one of them are going to risk it all.
No, yes, they will. JJ, what you mean not risk it all?
Bro, it's been too much hype. These guys,
but no,
you want the win. You want the W before you want the knockout.
No, but this is the fight, though. And you got to understand, yeah, they might start off cautious at first, but that shit going to heat up. It's going to heat up. But who I got winning? I got Earl Spence winning. People talking about Crawford gonna figure somebody out. Like, who have Earl Spence changed his style against in any fight he fought? He have been able to implement his style on everyone, bro. Like, I don't understand. I don't see why people ain't looking at that and looking at competition. I thought that's what it's about. I know fighters could be great, but we ain't looking at the competition. Crawford been in 3 divisions and ain't fought the type of competition Earl fought in 1 division, right? Crawford ain't never had nobody who gonna implement a body attack on him like Earl Spence is. What is Crawford gonna be able to do in them later rounds when Earl Spence hitting him on the stomach, hitting him in the hips, being real physical with him? Why we don't talk? See, people talk like
that's why I don't think that's
why.
Mistakes. If you're talking about a dude who's just going to stand in front of Errol Spence, then yeah, you're 100% right. But when we talk about this imaginary toolbox that everybody always brings up, we know Crawford can get in and out. We know Crawford can spin out. Like you said, we've never really been forced to see Spence change his plan. And again, that's a reason why you would.
What you mean change his plan? He done implemented his style on everybody, how he wanted to.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But we've seen that style. If that's all Spence has to offer, just coming forward, we've seen both of them take big shots. Correct. I'm not like this isn't me standing on my Terrence Crawford mountain and putting the TSB JJ flag on it. I'm saying that just from what I've seen, like their abilities in the ring, not who's fought bigger names or anything like that. Just from what I've seen in the ring, Terrence Crawford is showing me more than what Spence has shown me. They're going to have to take everything out, pull everything out of the bag for this fight. It's as evenly matched a fight as we will see. And every point you make, every point you make, I would agree with. But there's no wrong answer until November 19th. So we're going to spend the next 60 days going.
That's the problem. A lot of people talking about Earl ain't did this, he ain't did that. Yes, he have in every fight he been in.
You just said he never done this and he never had to change his style.
Let me finish. People talking about Earl Spence ain't did this. Earl Spence ain't did that. He do that in every fight he go in. It's crazy the disrespect that Earl Spence get, like he's just this one trick pony.
No.
The disrespect that Earl Spence get, like he's just this one trick pony, is disrespectful. Like you hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, Crawford gonna do this." How Crawford gonna do this when we done seen Crawford trying to do stuff? Crawford getting hurt trying to do that. Crawford ain't never seen no monster like Earl Spence who gonna be right there with his chin in his face. Crawford don't even got the mentality to box. He when he get in there with Earl Spence, it's just gonna be different. Earl Spence gonna lead Terrence Crawford into his fight. Bro, y'all talk about Terrence Crawford in the back end. How is he gonna be good in the back end when Earl gonna be hitting him in the body and on his hips?
Yeah, man. I see that. If I was worried that Crawford's just gonna stand in there like a dummy, then yeah, you'd be 100% right. But Spence is not facing anybody who he's faced before in a Terrence Crawford. Nobody's got that movement. Nobody's got that power. Nobody's got. Again, of course, everybody always talk shit about the ability to successfully fight orthodox and southpaw. 95% of the time, boxers try to do it. I hate seeing that. I hate seeing guys moving from their natural position. But we've seen Terrence Crawford do really, really well when he needs to pull that other toolbox out of the bag, switching to an orthodox from southpaw and vice versa. So, honestly, dog, it's the movement for me that makes the difference. The movement, because these guys are not just going to stand in front of each other and fight. I've just seen more out of Bud's movement. We can't argue who's. I mean, how the hell do we know who hits harder? How the hell do we know who has better knockout power? We know they're both turning into dogs in there. They both have that mean streak.
I would say Crawford has more of one punch knockout power. I would say that. I mean, it shows with the opponents he's been in the ring with that he has that one punch knockout power, right? But see, Earl's the type of guy who gets physically stronger as the round go on. We see Terrence Crawford is great, but we see him make a lot of mistakes in that square circle. We done seen it ever since he stepped on the so-called big stage, because he really ain't been on a big stage yet.
Undoubtedly, this is the biggest giant stage he will ever be in. And I mean, you can't really think anybody arguing that. That's a silly argument too. I mean, when has the world shut down for a Terrence Crawford fight? I can't think of it.
It's just crazy. Like, I want everybody to get Earl Spence his flowers if he win this fight. Like I said, I think Earl Spence gonna win this fight because if I look at Earl Spence, I trust him more. I see Earl Spence implement his style on every single fighter he fight. I see Terrence Crawford. I see Crawford had lapses. He won, salute to him, but I just seen him have more lapses than the Earl Spence. And going up against a guy like Earl Spence, who we know is a dog's dog, it's gonna be tough.
We've seen both of them take big shots. We've seen Spence on immediately after the Ugas fight say it was a rookie mistake. You know, we've seen them both make mistakes and get a little irresponsible in there. But again, the only reason for my prediction is because of the movement. Again, I'm not throwing a dime on this fight, man. These guys are just so evenly matched. And I've been in my own head, I can't just confidently pick a winner on this one. So that just tells me that this thing is going to be good. I hope the drama continues these next 60 days. Because now we're talking about actually selling a fight. You know, I know we haven't seen ink to paper, but
it's a pick'ems fight.
Yeah, it's a
pick'ems fight. My thing is, it's whatever style you prefer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just whatever style you prefer. What you think the guy, like you say, you think the movement. Like, but who been able to move against Earl Spence? Who cut off the ring better than Earl Spence in boxing? Like, that's what we're going to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's going to be like a matador on the board. Is Crawford going to be able to be that matador? Or is Spence going to be able to be that bull like he been being that bull, cutting everybody off? I think Spence cut off people in the ring the best in boxing.
Yeah, bro, he's masterful in walking dudes down and cutting off the ring. So no doubt about that. Now here's where I think Crawford could get into trouble, man. If he gets emotional in there, if he gets angry, then the game plan goes out the window, and that's when those mistakes happen. I'd like to believe that Crawford, at the oldest he's ever been, meaning with time, you know, as you get older, you get a little bit more wiser. You're not just some angry kid in the ring trying to, you know, defend your pride and honor, you know. So I'd like to believe Bud will have his emotions in check, but that's a big thing we got to consider. We've seen him. Huh?
He ain't showed us that. When Crawford get hit, he won't hit you back immediately. Like, of course, I'm not just saying he's a smart fighter, right? Of course, his boxing IQ is great, but we've seen him in big time fights have lapses to where instead of fundamentally getting yourself back into position to get that shot, he going there like a raging bull. That's what I think the difference is. Like I said, how Canelo more fundamentally sound in every area than David Benavidez. I think the same with Earl Spence. I think when it comes to fundamentally sound, I think Earl Spence is just that over Crawford.
Well, here's my commitment to you, Corey, is I'm going to go back and watch their last 5 damn fights. Just mute them, and I'm going to give my best damn breakdown I can and try to give my best prediction going into that fight because, like I said, I've been swaying my own self the past couple months, past few years trying to pick a winner for that fight. All I know is that it seems like we're finally to the point where we can put up or shut up everybody's opinions if we spend hours reading about these two guys. Finally going to get answered. And hell, not only am I hoping for a good fight, which, by the way, is going to be an excellent closeout to what an amazing year of boxing we've had, but I'm looking for a great trilogy because I fully expect this thing to go 3 fights. They're just that damn good. We're going to need 36 rounds to determine who's the best.
I don't think that. I think if Earl win, 154.
Why can't Bud follow him?
Who's going to want to do that?
Bro, I did read today that the only thing left is the TV negotiations. Not ESPN, Showtime or Fox. Obviously, Showtime's a front runner, but they're saying Fox is going to push it aggressively. So who the hell knows? If that's the last piece, I'm confident these guys can make it happen and get it done for us November 19th.
Would you want to see Earl Spence fight Terrence Crawford again? Or if he beat Terrence Crawford and become undisputed, Why can't he go to another division and try to do the same while he in the prime of his career?
I would not be opposed to
Because
that.
that's what Crawford gonna do. I truly, Crawford will have to sign for the rematch, so Crawford will have to rematch Earl. But I think it's gonna be in the contract where Earl don't have to rematch Crawford if he win, but Crawford gonna have to rematch him.
I read again a rumor today that said the B side is also given the ability to activate a rematch clause. So even if Crawford loses, but again, we haven't seen black and white. But to answer your question, shit, I'll be perfectly happy with that. Like, look at the history you're talking about. You know, Spence wins and goes up and tries to fight for undisputed at 154. Hell yeah, sign me up. How can you complain?
Like, because if I'm Crawford, I wouldn't want to sign no rematch anyway. Because then Crawford will have chance to make history. Like, then we'll have to say he the best ever. If he could go undisputed at 140, undisputed at 147, then he'll be in a discussion for the best ever. Then go up to 154. You know Jermell Charlo gonna take that fight. You know that. And if Crawford beat him and become a 3-division undisputed champion, bro, like I'm telling you, the both small ways, I think Earl gonna make sure he get the rematch because he the A side, right? And I just think that's the way it's gonna be if he lose. But I think Earl gonna make it to where if I win, I don't got to fight you because Earl got more leverage. Crawford can't do nothing about it. Like, think about it, he can't, Jay.
Yeah, you're right about that. I'm talking about just again, giving the people what they want to see. If we have like one of them 7 rounds to 5 just showdowns, there's just action packed, and you couldn't really tell the winner, you know. And Jermell ain't up for fighting Spence or whatever the case, then shit, why not see it again? Why not see it 2 more times? You know, we know there's gonna. I mean, do you think Jermell and Errol are just gonna sign a fight and make it happen without some sort of?
No, I think Jermell will move up to 160.
So everybody just shift up.
I think they too tight to where they. But I think Earl just was like, I think Earl want that glory, so he'll be like, "No, Jermell, like this the money. That'll be a big money fight."
You know, how can Errol get undisputed then? When you're saying leaving 147 for undisputed?
Yeah, because Earl will have all the belts, so Earl will be mandatory for one of the belts.
You talking about just with time eventually? Just knock out whoever's
if he move up, he automatically get a title shot for one of the belts, right?
Yeah.
Earl 32. You know, he got the chance to conquer another division. Just like Crawford. I think the rematch happened if Crawford wins, but I don't think it happened if Earl wins. And people can't be mad at that. You mad at that?
I'm not mad at any of those type of movements. If you chase it, let's just see the fight and let's go from there. We've been talking for too damn long. I didn't know we were going to talk some more, but I'm glad we had that breaking news from Mike Cobbinger. I hope it's relevant. Let's see. Just big salute to the comments. Guys, if you guys don't mind liking, subscribing, sharing this, always sure would appreciate it. It takes just a few seconds. You guys doing us a big help by sharing what we've got going on here. Which number 1 contender at 154 does Spence beat? Peter Puritan asking. I mean, I don't know anybody at 154 besides Jermell that would really give Spence much difficulty. I mean, right? Spence is.
Yeah, but you got to understand them bigger men up there. I mean, everybody say Spence a white bully anyway. So,
Jermell, all right, man. I'm gonna throw on the KO Therapeutic video real quick, just so you guys can see what we got working on KO Therapeutics. We'll be right back.
We all have battles. We fight. We train. We work. We persevere. And we celebrate. We are all one.
I can't do anything if I can't walk in my prosthetic. It's a lot of pain that I feel throughout my day. It can be very intense. Now I just put that balm over it and it will heal up much faster and it will let the callus recover. That's amazing. It is a total game changer. I am hooked. I am absolutely, I'm just hooked.
Life is hard. KO makes it better. KOCBD.com.
Once again, you guys going through any type of pain, aches, bumps, bruises, you need some inflammation, help recovery, help to bounce back, check out our friends at KOCBD.com. Use the discount code TSB10. Promise you guys will not be disappointed. This is great, quick relief. The balm lasts longer, and the balm helps with inflammation, so go check it out. We are fans. I'm a fan for life, so thank you guys very much.
Hey, JJ, I see my boy Peter Purton. He's like, I'll have a hard time picking him to beat Fundora or
yeah, all great names, all great. I mean, I'm excited to see. I think we're going to see Tim Tszyu and then Charlo. But again, man, we're talking about somebody who is a lot of people are picking him as a favorite against one of the top pound for pound fighters in the world. We've seen Errol Spence with a hell of a successful amateur career, with guys an American Olympian. I just haven't seen Fundora is a very unique specimen. And I still have my doubts, and I'm just calling it like I see it here. He hasn't shown me any weakness in the game, but just that body style, just being the way he looks, like it's hard to get on board with and say he beat somebody as stout and lean. I don't know. I just can't see it happening. The other guys would just be wars, and we know Spence can outlast and wear you out. So all good matches, but I just don't see how EJ's not the favorite in any of those fights. And shout out to Fundora. I'm not hating on him whatsoever. I'm just saying with what I've seen in boxing, I just don't see how his frame is going to last against some of those heavy hitters. So that's my thoughts on that.
Earl coming up a weight class though.
Yeah, but we know, like you said,
bigger man than.
He's a much bigger.
Them uppercuts and his long reach, like Earl gonna have to come to him. We know that's what Earl do, but when also Earl coming to him, he gonna have to give a little to get a little. And for Errol Spence to come in, Fundora is gonna be able to land some good punches on him. So I won't. Will Earl be the favorite? Absolutely. But there's no doubt about it. I'm not counting Fundora out that fight. Fundora is a specimen. He got a small body frame, but he undefeated. He's steady growing. He's learning. He a young kid. Got a good head on his shoulder. You don't never see him in the news. He eats, sleep, and shit boxing.
Yeah. And again, it's hard to pick against that, but we're talking about EJ Spence, one of the best fighters in the world. And listen, when you asked me earlier if I would be okay with him not fighting Bud in a rematch to go chase undisputed at 154, that only applies if he's going to fight his buddy Jamel. If these guys have a showdown and it's a close call and Spence gets the decision and Spence moves up to fight Fundora, nah, man, I don't. That does absolutely nothing for me, and he's going to have a lot of people from his own fan base questioning that decision.
But that's not even saying he's going to fight Fundora, JJ.
I was using that name as an example. Tim Tszyu, whoever.
Whoever a champion up there, he's going to get an automatic shot.
He'll get a free pass. He'll get a free pass from his friends, but it'll be very similar to Canelo fighting a champion at 168.
He's going to get a shot at a belt. If Errol Spence go to 154, he's going to get a shot at a belt. So I'm kind of what you're saying. We were just making fun. We were just talking about Fundora in a matchup wise. I ain't saying fight Fundora.
No, I was just saying, dog, against any of the guys at 154. The only one is
Why would you be mad?
I would expect him to take the rematch. If it's a close match, if it's a close call, if there's debate for either side, if it's a split decision, a legitimate split decision, I say go back and do it again. You're going to make more money. You know what I mean? Obviously, if it goes to decision, neither one of them knocked each other out, so they're not scared of each other. So I'd just love to see trilogy. But hold on, let me take my baby steps. Let's just get to the damn fight. Let's get to the fight.
No, it ain't even that. What I'm saying is, if Errol Spence win this fight, he can move up to 154, and there's going to be a lot of fighters at 154 who going to pose problems against Errol Spence. He moving up as a smaller guy. We know Errol Spence been sucking himself down in weight for years. This is the fight he been waiting on. I don't give a damn if it's close. If Errol Spence win this fight, he got the right to do what he want to do after sucking himself down for so long. Terrence Crawford in his third division. Oh, he supposed to suck himself down one more time if he beat Terrence Crawford. I'm just saying.
Well, I'd love to see it again at 154 then. Both have talked about moving on up. We got a fight coming up. I don't know if you want to talk about it much or are you itching to talk some Cowboys, but I wanted to talk real quick on Bivol and Cejudo and just see, what your thoughts are on that.
I got Bivol.
You got Bivol?
I like
Gilberto Ramirez.
I like him. He's a good fighter. He undefeated. I mean, he hit hard. I'm not even saying he hit hard. He got a work rate, a good work rate. But I'm sorry, Bivol is something different.
Yeah.
On another level, and we got to start taking them folks from wherever they at, not the United States, seriously. Beater beef. Bivol. Look how he beat Canelo.
That was a clinic, bro.
Look how he bullied Canelo. So, yeah, I got Bivol. I'm not saying that it's not going to be a good fight.
I think, when we talk about motivation and preparation in the ring, obviously, Cejudo's going to want that revenge for his countrymate. He sees that as an opportunity to win all the fans over that Canelo may have lost by getting outclassed the way he did. So I can see a good effort by Cejudo, but I'm with you, man. Bivol's on another level. He's shown it time and again. He showed it against obviously a smaller fighter, Canelo, but there's no doubt he can use those same skill sets, which is why he's now in the pound for pound conversation because of his skill set. He's got he's a boxing technician, I don't see much.
You said you have a problem if Errol Spence go up and fight somebody else. You got the problem that Canelo ain't interested in fighting Bivol ever again?
Do I have a problem with that?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem as long as he stays out of 175. Bivol can't lose a belt to some journeyman on a fluke night and then Canelo move up. If Canelo stays the hell out of 175, then I don't have a problem with it. But if Canelo's just looking for some easy target and fresh meat after somebody getting stripped of the belt or something like that, then yeah, I'll have a problem with that.
No, but I'm saying
why would he want to fight Bivol again?
He's just gonna say uncle to Bivol. I mean, he's just gonna just.
What are you supposed to do, man? The guy showed nothing, bro. What in Bivol?
He don't want to try to get that get back. I thought that's what you're supposed to do as fighters. Especially if you Canelo, win, lose, or draw. Shouldn't he get that get back at Bivol? I'm just asking.
Should he chase it?
Not chase it, because.
Well, he don't have to chase it. You're right. It'll be there. Just say the words. I just think Canelo watched that fight. Canelo was in the ring that night. Canelo felt what his power was doing nothing to that man's arms. His conditioning was hurting late in the round from fighting a much bigger opponent and exerting much more energy. He remembers what it felt like to be helpless and hopeless in that ring, and I don't think he'd want to do that again, man. He cares too much about what the fans think. I think he has that asterisk on there by saying his fans are giving him the excuse that he moved up in 175 and
but how great is he though? Because we seen Floyd move up 5 or 6 divisions, And when Floyd had a hard fight, or where it was questionable, or people thought he lost, Floyd did that get back. That's what great fighters do. Yeah, Canelo had his moments in that fight. It's just that I don't think Canelo properly trained for that fight, because he thought, oh, I'm Canelo Alvarez. But I'm saying to you, great fighters get their get back, especially if you lost like that. Like, is Canelo a great fighter? Yeah. But damn, Canelo win, lose, or draw. In my opinion, I think he needs to go after that Bivol rematch again. Like, because that's what great fighters do, right?
Yeah, you're right, bro. If I was his management team, I wouldn't have it. I know he could continue to dominate at 168. Like we just said, we listed out some great talent and great names that we all want to see at 168 pounds. That Canelo would be a heavy favorite on all three of those fights. David Benavidez, Jamal Charlo, and Demetrius Andre. Why go push yourself through that again? You're right. The greats go back and do it. The greats need that back. The greats won't be able to finish their career without that. But
man, like, you ain't gonna even try to get that get back, Canelo. I mean, I thought you was Mr. Viva Mexico.
he got a boy Sudalo gonna do it for him.
I'm just saying though, like, but you Canelo though, like great fighters run that back, JJ, because Canelo should have it in his mind what he know what he did wrong, because Canelo done been on this level so many times. I'm just saying, like, we can't knock him because he did get beat up. But I'm saying great fighters, like great fighters, win, lose, or draw, they want to run it back with a fighter who clearly got the best of him.
You know, and here's why I knocked Canelo on that fight, bro. Not that he lost, but he had no type of plan B. It was the same thing round after round. He used the blueprint from beating the other guys at 168, just beating up their arms and shoulders. And when that wasn't working, they had nothing. Like, if you go back and watch Triple G versus Canelo on Saturday, you see a point in the fight where Triple G's instructed to change the game plan. All right, this is not working. Change the game plan. And Triple G looked affected by changing the game plan. Canelo had nothing, man. And if you're going to be a great fighter, you got to be able to adjust in the ring. And that's the one thing we haven't seen from Canelo. Like,
I don't think he put on enough muscle. Like, he got to understand moving up that weight class. He should know that now going into the second fight, he has to be more muscular. Like, you're not going to be able to outbox this guy, because as the rounds go on, he going to get stronger. So early in the rounds, if Canelo was to take this rematch, I feel he has to get more muscular to where he builds more strength going into this fight. But with him doing that,
yep,
that
goes the speed. The speed and reflexes.
Speed with power,
yeah,
that gets you wore out in the
yeah.
So
it's just a bad idea. I see what you're saying as the pride in the Mexican man who want to go do that, or calling himself a champion, or the best ever, all that stuff. I see why he would want to do it. If I was his management team, I'd say, dude, don't touch that. But I don't know, dog. Who's winning the game right now? You seeing it up?
I ain't even watching the game.
Oh, yeah?
I don't care about no Philadelphia Eagles. Because
you care about the Eagles?
You can foul it under never. I just hope they get the hell beat out of them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story. Like, you remember when the Cowboys played the Eagles, right? And the playmaker himself in, I think it's Veterans Stadium.
Yeah, Veterans Stadium.
And they sure, when he broke his neck, bro, you think I would ever have any respect for the Eagles, bro? Like, I hope Jalen Hurts get hit in his knee and his ACL pop out straight up. And stand up and laugh and give a standing ovation, bro. I do not like nothing about the Philadelphia Eagles. Nothing.
Yeah.
First, they got a trash stadium. You know, that's one of the most hideous stadiums from the 214 to across America. Like, seriously. I mean, what's that dude named Jeff, the owner? Like, dude, y'all won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. All that extra money y'all got, you couldn't ask the city of Philadelphia to build y'all a new stadium? I'm just saying that.
This is same fans though that were literally eating horse shit after the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl, bro. I mean, I guess if it's taking you this long to get a Super Bowl, then yeah, eat the horse shit away, I guess. But yeah, there's nothing. I'm with you. They boo their own players. They cheer for injuries. They cheer for career-ending injuries. Look, forgive and forget, all that sort of deal. I get it, but the Philadelphia Eagles energy, man, it's just terrible. Why are you going to cheer for an injury? You learned that from a little bitty kid. Take a knee, clap when he gets up. You know, you don't want, this is a game. Cheering for the playmaker himself.
Yeah, that's one of the most rotten, disgusting. When I think about Philadelphia, it's the Eagles to be exact. Like I want to throw up, like the stench in the city. You know, like bro, I don't like nothing about Philadelphia or the Eagles.
What about Cooper Rush? How you feeling about Mr. Rush? Are you on the Cooper Rush train, bro?
Yeah, I like. You know what's the difference between Cooper Rush and you know what I like, JJ? See, this is the thing right here that Dak don't got, right? And I know Dak probably is a better quarterback than him, I guess. But, like, just because we see him physically maybe a better quarterback, is that what's going to lead us to where we need to go? The thing that Cooper Rush does, that if you want to be a starter in this league and you want to have success, you got to know how to anticipate a receiver being open, or throw the receiver open. And one thing Dak Prescott never been able to do in his career is anticipate a receiver open. They got to be absolutely open before Dak Prescott even throw that ball, bro. And with Cooper Rush, his anticipation, his poise. I'm just saying, though, it looked better camaraderie to me. Like, I don't care if Cincinnati lost their first game, they lost their second game. That's a stud. They got a stud as a quarterback in Joe Burrow, a stud as a receiver in I can't think of his name, but he's
Who you talking about?
They both played at LSU.
Oh yeah,
I can't think of his name, number one. But yeah, but like Cooper Rush, bro, like I'm saying, like is Dak gonna get Dak like he did Tony Romo? Like I'm just saying, JJ, like I don't know if Dak really like his magnet, like his robotish ways. I think that rubs the locker room off.
We saw an energy in that team yesterday, especially early in the game, that we didn't see the week before, that we didn't see in a divisional round for the playoffs at home against the San Francisco 49ers. So that brings – now listen, I'm going to tap the brakes. I don't think for a second Cooper Rush is as good a quarterback as Dak Prescott. But Cooper Rush did and will continue to do what a backup quarterback's supposed to do. Dak hasn't come close to doing what a $40 million quarterback is supposed to do. Not even close. So who's a better value for our team? Cooper Rush is, because he's doing his damn job. We saw a man come out, and here's the thing, he may not be the most athletic dude around or whatever case, Cooper Rush, but he knows our system, bro. He's been in that system since 2017. He's been in the quarterback meetings. He was Kellen Moore's teammate. You know what I mean? So he knows that playbook like the back of his hand. And, sometimes at quarterback, it's more about what's up here than what your God-given ability. So maybe there's a chance to get us through it. But here's the problem. Dak gets healed up. We go back to Dak. Is Dak ever going to get us to the promised land? Dude, I hate to say I just don't see it. I think we took $40 million.
People, I didn't like Dak. They didn't want to listen to me. Everybody said, oh, Dak is – no. The worst decision Jerry Jones ever made was not putting Tony Romo back in the game, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst decision he ever made, not putting Tony Romo back in the game. Like, have Dak earned his money? Absolutely. But when I look at Dak, he just wasn't that guy who I felt like a quarterback. And look at this team we got. People talk about, how the Cowboys took a back step. Shit, Cooper Rush had them looking like ain't nothing ever changed.
Yep, bro. With less talent, less offensive linemen, and Cooper just, again, it's week 2. It's easy to overreact. Let me put some of this KO Therapeutics on right quick because my back is hurting. It's easy to overreact, but I'll tell you what, I was super duper angry last week, and I told myself I'll never get that way again. I was so mad at Dak Prescott and Jerry Jones and the entire organization, but it is what it is, man. What else you got, Corey?
This dude, Peter, shout out to Peter. Pull that up. He put Canelo's comp at 168. WBC intern Morrell, WBA regular. Shilyagin.
It was damn good, by the way.
Number 1 WBC. Your boss Nully. Number 1 WBA Parker. WBO Scully, number 1 IBF. He said he has a better chance beating Skull and then Parker. I don't really know too much about them guys. I'm not gonna front, but now I guess I got to pay close attention to them, because I know it's Canelo, but how can they hold these belts for a whole year?
Because you answered your own question. Because it's Canelo, man. And look, like, here's the thing: he's gonna have to come back. You know, he's not going to take some super duper fight right off the bat. He's going to take a tune-up fight. So we might not see any of these names for another 24 months. You know, we might not see anything big from Canelo. And at 24-month layoff, after an injury, he'll be 34 at that time. It's, you know what I mean? Like, what's going to start happening? Should we start bracing for post-Canelo? I mean, we got to start thinking about that. You know what I mean? That we might have to start letting go of this idea of Canelo Charlo and Canelo and Benavidez. We might not ever see it. I really don't think we will. I don't. And on top of that, he's sitting on a lot of money with a family that he loves in a country that he loves. It's going to be hard to motivate himself to come back.
Man, bro.
Huh?
He's a man, bro.
He's a man.
But I want to say this right here. I want to say R.I.P. to the Queen. I want to say my condolences to her family and all the people across the pond. Man, you know, first off, say that R.I.P. And I understood, and I do respect how they handle stuff over there. But it was such a bummer, JJ. The anticipation for Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall, bro. Oh, that was a bummer, bro.
I was licking my chops, man. It's crazy that it's just a little bit irony. It was ironic that the card got postponed. It was a Queens card, just all Queens representing the sport on a pay-per-view all women's boxing card. Sold out. Everything was perfect, but they had to hold it off to pay homage to the Queen. So it's kind of irony, like it's just so well written sometimes the way this sport is. But you're right, I was bummed out. But that fight is still there, October 15th.
But it's the same day as Devin Haney. But I want to watch that one. I want Devin and Wilder.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn about none of them fights. I'm watching Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall. Because first off, I know Devin Haney gonna beat the shit out of Kambosos again. The way he beat him that first night, and I'll be the first to admit, I thought this was gonna be a tough fight for Devin Haney. So I'll be the first to admit that Devin Haney watched him. Deontay Wilder versus Helenius, you can file it under never, especially when you got a Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall. Everything that's surrounding it, so, like Savannah Marshall being the only woman to ever beat her on any level. JJ, and I want to ask you this. Who the bigger fighter? Like, is it Clarissa Shields or Savannah Marshall? And I ask that seriously because if Clarissa Shields is the bigger fighter, ain't the fight in America?
No, I don't think Clarissa Shields is the bigger fighter. Would they be able to sell seats the way they're selling if that fight was over here?
No.
I don't think.
But let her tell you she is the reason why it's selling. But why wouldn't it be in America? Because, like, who would want to travel 15 hours to go across the pond if you the A-side fighter?
No. Well, man, yeah. And that's, again, at the end of the day, we start talking this, it's a popularity game. But in America, obviously, Clarissa Shields is more well-known than Savannah Marshall. Most people have no idea who Savannah sounds like a tennis player. But you go overseas and bro, they're screaming and shouting and just super excited for Savannah Marshall. That's what does scare me about this fight.
Clarissa, you think Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields ahead?
I think so.
You been watching the fight? Like I
Clarissa
Shields has got better, but I see Savannah Marshall has got a lot better too. Savannah Marshall got some pop on her, Jay.
She does, and that's what Clarissa doesn't have. And with them fighting in Savannah's backyard, again, this is something we'll need to address is officiating and stuff. But every time that pop lands and the crowd goes nuts, and judges are going to note that, man. And it's going to be real hard to walk away with a decision when everything Savannah Marshall does is going to be hip, hip, hooray, and singing songs about Savannah Marshall in the crowd and stuff like that. It's going to be hard to get past that. I don't know Clarissa Shields got the power to put her away and leave it out of the judge's scorecard.
I think Clarissa Shields has got I think she's the favorite, right? She's the favorite in this fight, right? But I think Savannah Marshall is a real live in this fight, Jay. I think she got a big chance to pull off the upset. And my thing with Clarissa Shields, right? After 12 fights with 2 KOs, I know she don't want a lot of belts, but 12 fights with 2 KOs, she's saying she the GOAT.
Say it again, the what?
She's saying she the GOAT.
GOAT.
Yeah. Like, if you lose this fight, Clarissa Shields, like, don't that GOAT go out the way? Like,
I mean, because you can't be the greatest woman of all time and you lose your 13th fight against the same woman that already beat you before. That means you can say you're the second GOAT. That'll make Savannah Marshall the GOAT if that's.
Do you think Clarissa Shields starting to say that? Do you think that? I mean, of course, everybody want pressure on them. In any job you want to deliver, but sometimes you could go a little bit too far trying to deliver, right? We done all did that in different things we done did in the world. Do you think her saying she the GOAT, like what she said, she the GOAT after 5 fights?
Yeah, bro. And probably at that time, there wasn't a big woman name, and she saw an opening, and she's thinking about her potential and how hard she works in the ring and what she done in the Olympics, and she may be saying she could be the GOAT one day, but she still, in my opinion, has a lot of work to do. Like
after 12 fights, JJ?
Yeah, I mean,
like, don't she put a lot of pressure on herself? Like, just say, because in boxing you're gonna eventually lose, right? It's just a percentage of fighters who gonna eventually lose. I can understand her saying she the GOAT after like 25, 30 fights, and she undefeated. And this is no knock, to each his own. Prerogative. She could do what she want to do in my Bobby Brown voice. It's her prerogative. But 12 fights, JJ.
Yeah.
I think that's not good. I think, because how her mentality gonna be if she lose a fight? If she lose this fight.
We talk a lot about how Deontay Wilder hasn't truly been able to recover from that loss because he hasn't accepted it as a loss. And just to see how Clarissa is so sold on herself, which there's no knock on that. You want confidence, you want to be confident, but she looks like she would be emotionally really struck and shook if she were to not get this win. I hope she's in a place where she understands she's fighting an excellent opponent in Savannah Marshall, and you're not gonna win every fight. I still give Clarissa Shields the edge, but I know it's gonna be a tough road to victory.
And like Peter said, we seen Clarissa dropped by fighters that don't have the punching power that Marshall has. That's true. And Marshall, you know what tripped me out with Clarissa, right? And I don't know if it was just her trying not to give Marshall no credit, but she's talking about what was that girl she fought? She said she was the best fighter I ever fought. What was her name?
I forgot it. You talking about the press conference when they were going back and forth with each other?
Yeah, and they asked her, "Is Marshall the best fighter you ever fought?" She said, "Who that girl I said was gonna beat Clarissa?" That's when Clarissa got mad in my ass. But she sent me a voice message out this world. Damn, what's
You should. I wish you'd have saved it.
she was that pretty? What the fuck is her name? What's her name?
I'm getting it for you right here because I'm right there with. I was bummed out though, bro. I was really looking forward to that whole card, dude.
Yeah, me too. That sucked because I can't lie. Clarissa and Savannah Marshall, they sold that card from the face off to just the way how, like for real. And another thing, Savannah Marshall made a great point. How Shields is. She like, oh, you can have an opinion, but when somebody else have an opinion. You know, it's like, come on, Clarissa, you gotta think that you're the only one who can have an opinion, and you just right. Like I mean, look, to each his own. I'm going for the American fighter and Clarissa Shields, right? Because I represent that red, white, and blue. You know, so yeah, but it's gonna be a tough one right here.
It is gonna be tough, man. Was she talking about Christina Hammer or no?
Christina Hammer. Yeah, she said Christina Hammer was her toughest fight. Really? Christina Hammer is not a better fighter than Savannah Marshall. I don't know if she was just trying to just say that to just kind of blow her off, you know. But this is the toughest fighter she ever fought.
Yeah. You got all that quote talk. I do think she might need to tap the brakes. You have the obviously Katie Taylor is great. You have Christy Martin, who did amazing things for boxing.
I know old girl lost, JJ, but losses come with boxing, right? Who lost to Katie Taylor? But she went up in divisions.
Amanda Nunes, Amanda Nunes has an amazing what she's accomplished. Sorry, I was looking at you over here. What she's accomplished is incredible. So like, and Amanda's been in the game for years and years.
No, is that who Amanda Nunes?
Yeah, when she lost to Katie Taylor recently.
Yeah, but she got 8 divisions, Jay.
Yeah, something absurd like that.
How many losses do she have on her record?
I think wasn't Katie Taylor just her second loss? I think.
But 8 divisions and 2 losses? Come on, that's the GWOAT talk. Katie Taylor, what's she doing right now?
I said Amanda Nunes. I meant Amanda Serrano.
Amanda Serrano. That's what I was thinking. I was like, Amanda Nunes, ain't that UFC fighter?
It's like, geez, Amanda Serrano's done made some moves. Where'd you go? Oh. Stay tuned for Correa coming back. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah. McKenna Mayer and Alicia Baumgartner are selling it too, man. I'm telling you, I'm excited about that as well. Where'd your comment go? Yeah, the main event, co-main event on there is going to be incredible, and I'm just proud of where these women have gone because, you know, I used to be a big critic for that part of the sport, saying, you know, they need to bring more to the table, but just in 1 year, you're going to see 2 cards that do big numbers. So I'm really proud of all the women who are coming in. Oh, no, here comes Correa. Where'd you go, man?
Operator error, my boy. Operator error.
She is 45. She's 42-2, Amanda Serrano.
42-2, JJ.
Yeah, and lost to a Katie Taylor, who is Katie Taylor. You know what I mean? I'm just
saying, I just don't know. Like, it's just hard for me. Like, I can't discard that. It's Clarissa Shields great, but she got a lot more to do.
I agree, man. I agree. Here's the thing. She's got the work ethic to do it, though. I do like Shields' work ethic. I like that she backs up a lot of what she, you know, a lot of her talk in the ring, you know, as best as she can. But she's never just got some slouch. I love what she did in MMA. I love that she changed the challenge. Yeah, like Peter said, the ladies are holding it down right now.
You put over Christy Martin?
What's that? What'd you say?
How can we put over Christy Martin?
You can't, man. What Christy Martin did to the game when people were making fun of her for even thinking she'd ever be a star. Yeah, you can't put her above Christy Martin.
Like, I just can't because it's like But I look forward to that fight though, Jason. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Well, we got a little bit less than a month for that fight, so I'm gonna rapid fire you. Pick the winner. All right. Shields Marshall.
Shields.
Haney Cambo.
Haney.
Darrell Plant.
Caleb Plant.
And then Helenius Wilder.
Robert Helenius.
Ooh, Mr. Controversy.
No, I don't like the Deontay Wilder psyche. And you got to understand, like, he done been there, done that. He done enjoyed the fruits of his labor. He walk around with Versace robes on. He's a little delusional, but he still was one of the best, right? But I just think Robert Helenius is hungry now. I think Robert Helenius, I think Deontay Wilder chin is shot. The Deontay Wilder have power? Absolutely. But if you go look at a Robert Helenius fight, he throw a same lot of the combinations like Fury do. He ain't as good as Fury, but I think with him being more hungrier than Deontay Wilder, and I don't think Deontay Wilder fully recovered from them three Tyson Fury fights, devastating losses. I think Robert Helenius is going to be able to catch Deontay Wilder, and it's going to be a TKO.
You heard it here first. And a lot of people would say, Corey, all the casuals in boxing who just hear Deontay Wilder's name and run and things over, they're going to say, oh, that's just Mr. IOTBA trying to poke the bear again. Nope. There's a real good possibility that Helenius can shock the world on October 15th. The man's got skills. The man's got power. And like we said, he's hungry, man. He's hungry. And that's what Wilder might not be as hungry anymore. So we'll see. But
you think I know we got to go in a few minutes, but you think Anthony Joshua going to take that Tyson Fury fight?
Yeah. We haven't talked about
he should.
Yeah, he should. And that's
Joshua did everything that he could do. He a two-time heavyweight champion. You got a chance, even if you lose this fight, to make a lot more money, bro. Why not?
Yeah. And you're a heavyweight fighter, so there's always that chance that you shock the world. But no, you're right. Like, what else is he gonna do? Like chase down the belt again and go through all these and risk losing to one of those guys? Instead of taking the biggest money fight of your career. And
why not fight Tyson Fury? Like, I don't get it. That fight should already be talked about. Like, I don't knock these fighters when they lose, Jay. It's a part of the sport. Like, if we could watch NBA teams lose, NFL team lose, baseball team lose, soccer team lose, we could watch a fighter lose. That's the beautiful thing about sports. It's about, if you lose, it's shocking, but the exciting thing is to see how you come back from those. And that's one thing I love about the sport. It's the momentous moments, like when Sugar Ray Leonard lost to Roberto Duran. And then he came back and had that momentous moment where he made them say, no mas. When Hakeem Rockman shocked the world against Lennox Lewis. And Lennox Lewis came back and showed he was who we thought he was, right? So, like I
Cotto
like
Margarito, bro. Cotto Margarito. Antonio Margarito, Miguel Cotto, when Margarito allegedly and very obviously had the loaded gloves, and he just wore Cotto out. Remember the beating that Cotto took? It wasn't a one punch. Wore Cotto out. So for me, that rematch there, man, that one felt good because that guy was like a monster villain, cheat, and Cotto just came and just that one felt good too. So you're right.
Hey, Jay, that's one of my all-time favorite moments, right? Because I think I spoke to you about this before. Like when Cotto, at the end of that round, he walked to the center of the ring and just looked at that cheating motherfucker. He looked at his ass, JJ. I will never.
It's goosebumps right there, bro. And that's some moments in this sport where you're absolutely right. All these guys we talked about.
This would have been a good week in history boxing. Today is the day. Somehow, some way, they gave Felix Trinidad the win against Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah, I was having a good night. So you took me back to that night where I was certain that we had the
Like I
W.
would never forget that, bro. Like I don't give a damn if Tito Trinidad was coming on late in the rounds. Oscar De La Hoya clearly outboxed Cuz most of that fight. Jay, that was like one of the biggest robberies in history, in my opinion.
Yeah, and here's the thing though, De La Hoya put himself in that position, and this would be a good way to close out the show. Hey, we'll do this week in boxing history because this is a loaded week for boxing. So tomorrow, if you're feeling better, I know this time we'll iron out, but we'll do this week in boxing history. So I want to leave that De La Hoya stuff, but I was gonna talk about this though. Them scorecards, the Canelo Triple G ones. I know it was a lot of controversy. First of all, when you're watching a fight, sometimes it's best to be muted because they were just not giving Triple G those last rounds. But anyhow, the point I'm trying to make is Canelo let up off the gas, whether it was his hand, whether it was Triple G's technique, or whether it was Canelo's conditioning. But he let up off the gas. Bro, had Triple G won one more round, that fight would have been a draw.
Damn.
And just to tell you how you can't let up off the gas. So like De La Hoya, yeah, we thought he had that fight in the bag. He let up off the gas to try to prove some point about boxing. Canelo let up off the gas, and he almost let Saturday night's fight slip. So,
But he did what he was supposed to do, right? Like if you up comfortable in the fight, you don't want to keep taking them unnecessary chances when it's 4 rounds
well, it
left.
wasn't like he was moving though, bro. He was kind of letting Triple G do his thing. And
No, about Oscar De La Hoya.
oh yeah. And his thing was saying that everybody said I can't box. So he wanted to show the world that he could outmuscle Tito Trinidad for 7 rounds, and then he could outwork him around the ring for 5 rounds. And ended up being a disappointing scorecard, to say the least.
Hey, real quick before we go, what's your let's talk about grudge match, right?
And I'm good, bro. I'm good too. I just know, we've both been kind of under the weather.
You know,
So.
we got to go. No, we do got to go. I just want to ask you about that before we go.
I already know the answer to this question. I love it.
What's your grudge match of all time? Like the most satisfying moment, like for you watching the fight, or with a guy you liked and the guy did something to. It was a lot of like, what was it?
Easy. This is why I love Oscar De La Hoya so much, because I feel like he represented people like me. Oscar De La Hoya versus Fernando Vargas, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. Growing up, man, I was always kind of in that middle. The 2 American from my Mexican friends, the 2 Mexican from my American friends. And there really wasn't a segment for people like me where, you're just kind of bouncing back and forth, but you're not deep with either one of them. And I saw that with the De La Hoya and Vargas build-up. Vargas was just like, you're a fake Mexican, because, De La Hoya was Mr. Smiles and proper and stuff like that. And he wasn't Mr. Fernando Vargas. And the whole time he would tell De La Hoya that, I would feel it. Like, man, he's not a fake Mexican. He's as real as it comes. So when all that hype was coming up, and I knew with all my heart that De La Hoya was going to win that fight, it turned out to be a hell of a fight. And but when De La Hoya finally finished him, woo, I was jumping up and down, bro. What was yours? Sorry, I took longer than you probably think.
No, that's one of my moments. That's one of my moments right there too, bro. Like when De La Hoya knocked him out, fam. And I think that fight happened yesterday in the history of boxing.
Yeah.
And when De La Hoya did that to Fernando Vargas, bro, that was just like everything, because like the blatant disrespect, calling somebody a fake Mexican. Like I hate that shit. Like when I ain't Mexican enough for you because I act like this, or I ain't black enough for you,
yeah,
or I ain't Asian enough for you, or any ethnicity you are, I ain't that enough for you. And like when the clean cut Mexican whooped the so-called thug in Fernando Vargas.
The Aztec Warrior. Bro, it felt so good. And all respect to Vargas. I love what he did in his career. But man, that day was personal for me. You know what I mean? It really was. So that
like Vargas was a good fighter, but I remember Vargas for never being able to win the big fight.
Yeah, and I have a lot of people would argue they threw him in too early against Tito Trinidad. I mean, they put him in there with one of the kings at the time. Between him and De La Hoya, they threw him in there with Trinidad. Why? Trinidad got away with some low blows on that fight, bro, that turned the whole tide, and that's because he had that experience, that veteranship. But Vargas is, for me, I agree with you. He never won the big one, but I think they mismanaged him early in his career.
Absolutely, but hey, man, it's been a good show tonight, Jay, man.
Yeah, it was a good getting our toes wet. If we're not at the studio tomorrow, we'll have a similar setup. We'll try to get back in studio tomorrow, depending on how, So we'll check it out. But you got anything else, brother?
Hey, man, shout out to everybody from the 2-1 folks who across the pond.
100%, guys. We will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in, and we will catch up with y'all tomorrow.
This is JJ Solomon.
This is Ray Bradshaw, Mr. RTB. Mr. These boys can't touch me on my worst day. And this is the Spit Bucket Podcast.